Hey guys, this video is probably going to be kind of short, or I'm going to try and keep it short. And I know there's a glare in the background there, which might be an annoyance to some people, but I'm parked in this spot because there's shade over here. So I guess, the sun's setting back there, but it looks kind of angelic, kind of cool. So I'm going to go with it. But in this video, I want to talk about the importance of having gratitude for the simplest things, not least of which is the successive opportunities at being that we're blessed with each day that we open our eyes and we wake up. And when you take a minute and you stop and you consider the tremendous blessing that this is, and the tremendous mystery and all of the things that need to line up just perfectly for that to happen, it really is amazing. And when you start your day by expressing gratitude for this, then you set the whole course for your day, and you set the elevated vibration of gratitude for your entire day, and then it can only go up from there. And this is important because whatever comes at you that day, you are grateful for it, and you know that it is happening just the way that it's supposed to happen. But I think it's very beneficial and very important to make that effort, to take that take those minutes or whatever it takes for you to express gratitude for the the opportunity at being once again. And make the effort to do that each day you wake up. And it doesn't have to be right in the morning, because it's a little difficult when you're getting going and all of that stuff, but I try to make an effort to do it. If I can't do it right when I wake up, then I do it on my lunch break or something like that. And it aligns you with elevated vibration, and you could feel the profoundly positive effect that it has on your psyche and the way you view your environment and your surroundings, and the way you orientate your mind as it is confronted by external stimuli, and how they are reconciled internally, because they approach a tremendously elevated vibration that is associated with gratitude and all of this thing. So anything that approaches your perceptive faculties is immediately confronted by the vibration associated with gratitude, and so you extract the positive from it almost by default. And this is tremendously beneficial to you and to those around you. And so it's just all around a good idea and a good practice to get into the habit of expressing gratitude for the blessing of waking up another day and being able to perceive and being able to confront and be confronted by all that lies in store for you in that day. And to just be grateful for the tremendous blessing that it is, and know that when you make the decision to view it in such a way, then you're rising up in consciousness, and the universe is unfolding for you in a favorable way. So I just want to read a passage from Marcus Aurelius' Meditations, which is a pretty famous one, I guess, but I think it's extremely profound in its simplicity, and very potent in its simplicity, and applicable in its simplicity all across the board. And a lot of times we get caught up in and enchanted by the idea that everything has to be glamorous and the grandiosity of things, and we forget the tremendous wisdom that lies in simplicity and in the wisdom that has been passed down from generation to generation, that sometimes we think is antiquated, and we think we've evolved past it. We think we have to come up with all of these new and enticing and seductive things, when in actuality we may be just drifting further and further from the source. So I'm just going to read this passage here, and it says, it has to do with the topic. So it says, In the morning, when thou risest unwillingly, let this thought be present: I am rising to the work of a human being. Why then am I dissatisfied if I am going to do the things for which I exist and for which I was brought into the world? Or have I been made for this, to lie in the bedclothes and keep myself warm? But this is more pleasant. Dost thou exist then to take thy pleasure, and not at all for action or exertion? Dost thou not see the little plants, the little birds, the ants, the spiders, the bees, working together to put in order their several parts of the universe? And art thou unwilling to do the work of a human being? And dost thou not make haste to do that which is according to thy nature? But it is necessary to take rest also. It is necessary. However, nature has fixed bounds to this too. She has fixed bounds to eating and drinking, and yet thou goest beyond these bounds, beyond what is sufficient. Yet in thy acts it is not so. But thou stoppest short of what thou canst do, so thou lovest not thyself. For if thou didst, however you say that, thou wouldest love thy nature and her will. But those who love their several arts exhaust themselves in working at them unwashed and without food. But thou valuest thy own nature less than the turner does the turning art, or the dancer the dancing art, or the lover of money values his money, or the vainglorious man his little glory. And such men, when they have a violent affection to a thing, choose neither to eat nor to sleep, rather than to perfect the things which they care for. But are the acts which concern society more vile in thy eyes, and less worthy of thy labor? So I'm going to assume that you guys can understand the gist of what he's saying here, but some things that stuck out to me, basically, I can paraphrase it here. He's saying that the nature of a human being is a certain thing, and we fight against it, but we are misguided when we do this because we were created for a purpose, and when we go against it, we are out of harmony with nature and the divine order of the cosmos and all of this sort of thing. So, he mentions the other creatures that do their duty in imposing fulfilling their duty, which sets to order their aspect of the universe, the aspect of the fabric that they're responsible for keeping the threads holding together. They do that. But we go, another thing it says here, we go above and beyond in our gluttony and this sort of thing, and yet we stop short of our potential in the acts that are part of our duty as human beings. So because there is great pleasure in the things that we are gluttonous in, and yet we don't want to exert ourselves or go above and beyond in doing our work and doing our duty as humans, because it comes oftentimes with pain and discomfort. But and then he says here at the ending of it, those who are completely engrossed in their passion and their purpose and what sparks their interest in all of these sorts of things, they completely lose themselves in it, and they neglect, the needs of that sustain us as humans. They neglect to wash, they neglect to eat, they neglect to sleep, they neglect all these things because they are completely engrossed in that which they love and that which they have aligned themselves with in terms of the ultimate purpose that God has created them for. So I just wanted to read that because it relates to the topic of the video and the gratitude that we should express each and every day to be able to fulfill our roles in the larger order of the universe that we are a part of. And we should strive not to disregard these things or act in an inharmonious way or a non-harmonious way, however you say that, with our duty and the things that we were created for, because to do so is misguided, and to do so is a violation of the divine order of nature itself. And we can try and deviate from this and think that we are evolving beyond it, but this is misguided because the divine mind, which has set all of this in order, is the supreme mind, the supreme consciousness that exists in us and that we are also a part of. But we are not going to, in certain ways, I don't think we will transcend the divine laws of the universe and of nature. So we put unnecessary strain and stress and unnecessary burdens upon ourselves when we struggle to do so, because to do so is, like I said, a violation of these things. So that's what I wanted to say in this video. I hope this, I highly recommend the meditations. It is difficult to read. You have to oftentimes, or I have to, where you read passages over and over and have a very clear mind when I'm reading it, because you know, we don't talk like this in this day and age, but it is possible. And once you know, you get accustomed to the way that English is used in this translation, and you read it over and over and you focus on it, then it becomes easier. But I hope that, you know, this passage is interesting. It is interesting to me. That's why I included it, and it is relevant. So I hope that you guys make a concerted effort to express and align yourself with the virtue and vibration of gratitude, because tremendous blessings are attracted when you do so, and the whole orientation of your mind and your spirit shifts, and nothing but good and profoundly positive things come from this. So take the time to do that, practice doing it, make it a habit, and it has changed me for the better, and I know that it can change everyone else for the better as well. So check out my other videos on this channel. If you like this video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. That is much appreciated. Leave your comments, your suggestions, your feedback, anything you want me to talk about, anything you might be struggling with that you might need advice on. If I could leave some inspiring or uplifting words, I'd be happy to do that. And know that the suffering and things, trials, tribulations that you're going through are absolutely necessary to your journey, and you will get through them, and you should approach them with a proper orientation of the mind and spirit, and not with a defeatist mentality or a spirit of discouragement or victimhood or all of this sort of thing. But know that you are to extract only the highest of vibration and blessing from them, as they are to temper you and forge you so you can facilitate God's ultimate purpose for you, and that you can manifest your ultimate self to have a profound and positive effect on those who you encounter in the collective, and uplift others, which is a tremendous blessing to be able to do. And that's why I named the channel It Never Was About You, because we get too caught up in the idea that the suffering we go through is purely about us, and most of the time it's not. It's about other things that I just mentioned. And know that you will get through it, and you can get through it. So thanks for watching.